What's up, Shuvu teens? Pastor Matt. Yeah, it's a spatula. This week our Torah portion is Parshat Eikev. Eikev, in the context of the first verse of Parshat Eikev, means because, but the literal meaning of Eikev is heel. Why is this important? Well, Rashi tells us that there are minor commandments and major commandments, ones that we might not think are a big deal and ones that we think are a really big deal. Those minor commandments, Rashi says, we should treat with just as much care and concern as the major commandments, because those minor commandments are the type that we might think we might step on with our heel. They're ones that they might be underfoot a bit. To use the phrase that the kids say, they might feel a little stepped on. We need to make sure that we are treating the minor things just as importantly as the major things. You know, one of the commandments in the Torah is to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And that might not seem like a very big deal. But I'll tell you what, in our lives, it really is kind of a big deal to love your neighbor as yourself, to treat others the way that you would want to be treated. One of the other things that's really important in this week's Torah portion is when you get a lot of stuff, don't forget about God. You know, some of you guys are getting your first jobs, maybe getting your driver's license, maybe experiencing a little bit of freedom. When you have a little bit of money in your pocket and you start to feel like you can depend on yourself rather than God, that can get a little dangerous. We have to remember that even if we are paying for stuff ourselves, God is the one who really gives us the provision to pay for that stuff. So you might have a job, and at your job you might be making a paycheck, and you might think, oh, I don't need to depend on anyone else. I'm self-sufficient. I'm paying my own way. I'm buying my own food. You might start paying your own vehicle insurance. You might even start paying rent to your parents. Well, even though you are doing it, it's really God that provides us with the job. My dad likes to say it like this: everything belongs to God. He just lets us be stewards of some of what is His. So this is important. As we begin to provide for ourselves, become more self-sufficient, it is important that while we are a little more independent, we still are dependent on God and His provision. In this week's Torah portion is where we get the idea of what's called the Birkat Hamazon, or the grace after meals. It's where we get the idea that after we eat and are satisfied, we bless the name of the Lord. That's what it says in this week's Torah portion. After we eat and are satisfied, then we bless the Lord and we don't forget about Him. It's really easy to think about God when you're starving and you're thankful for when you get to eat. But when you've had enough to eat and you're satisfied, it's easy to forget about God. So let's remember that. Parshat Eikev, the heel. Don't be stepping on the minor commandments. They're just as important as the major ones. I'm praying for all of you this week that God give you a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful Shabbat. So I'll wish you an early Shabbat Shalom. Take care of those around you. And remember, don't forget about God, even when you start to get a lot of stuff. Pastor Matt, out.